I believe in standing up for myself and others and in speaking out in a world where it is so easy to have your voice buried. Malcolm X, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. And this is one of my favorite quotes because if you're not independent and strong, you really will fall for anything, and that's important that doesn't happen. I won't let myself be pushed around, and when I was in elementary school, I saw a child in the classroom being bullied. He was being called really vicious and abusive names, and comments were being thrown at him. As far as I knew, he was a good kid and had always been very nice. As I watched him, he didn't even try to stand up for himself. I mean, not that he should have retaliated with equally mean comments, but he sat and did absolutely nothing. That is understandable, considering that a lot of people might have done the same thing in his shoes. But it's very difficult to think when horrible names are being yelled at you and you're being laughed at. Standing up for yourself isn't easy, but that's not what bothered me. I turned to my right and witnessed another group of kids watching the incident, and I noticed their heads shaking in disapproval of the bullies and their quiet whispers to each other, but none of them stood up and said anything to each other. They watched a student who had done nothing being attacked by children who were wielding really sharp words, and they did nothing. I don't know if they were scared, but they didn't attempt to get a teacher, and every single one of those students could not stand up for themselves or another person, and neither could the child who was getting bullied. They lost their voices by remaining quiet. I strongly believe in voicing your thoughts to make a difference, so I spoke up and got a teacher soon after. I've always been the type to say what's on my mind, because if you don't speak up, then you have no voice at all, and this is one of the values that I hold most dear to me. In order to be never lost in a crowd, a person must be a leader, the spokesperson, and someone who is respected for standing up. Being opinionated is very important to me, and I would not be myself if I did not voice what I believe in to those around. Many people are shy, and there's nothing wrong with that. That being said, there comes a point where even people who are timid need to speak up for themselves and have their voice heard. If no one can hear your voice, then your opinions get trampled in the noise. There's a difference between being shy and being a pushover. I've never struggled with getting my point across because I follow my beliefs and will always stand up for myself and others. Standing up when it counts says more than always having the loudest voice, if you effectively get your point across. I am me because I have a very big personality. It's loud and can be obnoxious, but people know me. The only way for someone to know you is if at times of importance you speak up, and that's how people know who you truly are. No one should remain quiet when it counts. When a person's beliefs are being tested or someone is being wronged, there is no better time to speak up and stand up for what you know is right and just. This I believe.